So we're out for a ride today, and I'm going to talk about the mental health benefits of getting out and doing adventures on your e-bikes. Turns out Engwe are going to be doing a trek bike. So some of you might have had in one of their questionnaires about it, so fill it in. Are you going to get the bike they're going to give you instead of the bike you want? So you'll have to remember that. It's a lovely day for it. Sun's out. I'm going to say it now. When I were a lad, none of this were here. Well, the Canal was, but none of that. And they're properly at it. You know, they're building all over the place. But yeah, we're going to talk about that. So yeah, we're going to talk about the mental health benefits of e-biking. And we're going to talk about, like I said, Engwe's idea of what a trek bike is, and this is the one that I built that I can load up. It's properly loaded up today. But for me, a trek bike has to be able to do 50 miles minimum. So they need to be looking at 35 amperes torque sensor to get the thing to do the distances you need to do. You need to be able to do, like I said, a minimum of 50 miles. It's not a race, you don't have to get there quickly. But like I said, it's a lovely day for it. Leeds Armourers. If you've never been in there and you ever visit Leeds, it's really cool. So we're getting on the Leeds-Liverpool Canal now. This stretches all the way to Liverpool if I want to get there. And if there's any Scousers watching, don't take this personally, but I don't. Well, I am heading out quite a way today, so we're going to see where we end up. Oh, it's like a ride on a roller out of Skelter. I guess we're coming up to our first lock. And where we're actually going is a place called Five Rise Locks. And it's world famous. Like I said, this is pretty much the centre of Leeds. This runs through the centre of Leeds. So this is pretty much where you get on it by Leeds train station. It's just under the new bit by the brewery. Thank you. As you can see, they're supping their way along the canal. If ever there's a pointless thing to do, it's stand-up paddle boarding, but some people like it. Apparently it's good for core strength. Some more locks here. Living the dream. Definitely living the dream. Have a nice day. This is Oddie Locks on the Leeds-Liverpool Canal. Oh, it'll probably be the old lockmaster's house. So sadly we've had to come off the canal route because they pull up barriers to stop motorbikes going through, and because of the width of this thing, I can't get through, which is annoying, but I'm hoping to be able to get back on it down through here. But if not, you know, we've got 75% battery left. We can go on adventures still. There's plenty of places we can go. Well, I would like to get up to Saltaire. It was nice riding along the canal. I'll get back on it coming home. We'll do some more filming. Well, I'm properly off the beaten track now and I don't know where I am, but that's what the whole idea of this is, that you go on adventures. You go find places. I'm pretty much in Bradford now. And I see a little stream down there, which must be an offshoot of the canal. So yeah, I haven't got a clue where I am. But there's only one way we're going to find out. Well, I'm glad I got Tannis armour on board, because we're going over some right crap. Like I said, it's a mini adventure every time you come out on one of these. The whole point. So what we're talking about, yeah, the mental health benefits of e-bikes. So as you can see, I'm out on a right adventure today, because I haven't got a clue where I am, or more to the point where I'm going. I think apparently I can get back onto the canal down here. And hope there's no more of these anti-motorcycle guards on there. But yeah, when you're doing this, you're not thinking about what grinds you down, if that makes sense. You're not thinking about all that crap that weighs you down. You're not. You're thinking about, oh, how am I going to get through this bit? How am I going to get through this bit? And I've had a few of them today. And it's enjoyable. That's what it is. It's enjoyable. I'm actually genuinely enjoying myself, because I'm not doing the usual grind. You know, it's just something different, isn't it? From the usual crap. And if any of you suffer from depression or PTSD like I do, this is brilliant. This just gets you out of your own brain. And one of the big tricks that they teach you when you're having psychotherapy is, and they don't tell you this to quite a way in, but it's actually the switch that clicked me over back to some sort of normality. And that was, if you can't change the situation, you've got to change the way you view it. And it's helped some way in letting me come to terms with what I struggle with. And I've done all the antidepressant things, which is a tragedy in itself. I mean, I nearly ended up going to prison. I was on an antidepressant called Seroxat, and I was mixing that with alcohol, and I was attacked by 3 blokes outside a nightclub in Cheltenham, and I put 2 of them in hospital, and they dragged me to the courts for 2 years, pretty much. Well, at least 18 months, going on 2 years, where the CPS was trying to decide whether they were going to put me in prison or not. Well, the lad that started it was wandering around getting me barred from, well, he did me a favour in the end, barred from pubs, because he had an injunction that I couldn't go anywhere near him, which was annoying. But yeah, I find these things to be better than any antidepressant that they'll give you. Any antidepressant that the doctors are likely to prescribe to you, don't come close to this. This is just nice. This is just a gentle day out. In fact, I think I'm going to title this video A Grand Day Out. A grand day out and the mental health benefits of e-bikes. That's what I'm going to call this. So we've got back onto the canal at Appley Bridge. Bit of a long way round, but hopefully there's no more of these anti-motorbike gates, because I'm going to have to turn round. Fingers crossed. Morning.
That's a video, Bob. It's a beast and a half of a bike.
Stole it, I've just got it. Morning. So we're getting away from civilization now, so we're seeing less people around on here. Doesn't detract from how cool it is. It's been, well, I've been on this bike now since about 9:30 this morning, maybe a bit. So I've been on here for about 2.5 hours on the bike. I've been on the canal path for about an hour and a half on and off. Thank you. Thank you. It's nice to be nice now and again. Although I did bump into somebody earlier that thought he was Forrest Gump with the long beard, and he deliberately stood in the middle of the path. So I had to slow right down and go around him, at which point words were exchanged. I didn't record that bit. Just out trying to have a nice relaxing time, and to be honest, I'm not going to let him spoil it. It is a nice relaxing time and it's a nice day for it. .9% of the people I've come across today have been nice, but you'd always get that one person. Normally that one person is me, mind you, but like I said, when you're out doing this, you're not thinking about other things. You're not thinking about what is getting you down, what grinds you down. And it's cheap once you bought the bike. I mean, it's cost me about, both batteries, about 50 pence to charge. And I'll probably get over 60 miles out of this today. Morning. So, yeah. What's not to like? Swans. I remember getting chased along here, well, a little bit further up, by some swans. And one of them got out of my mate, pulled a big chunk out of his arm. I've always been wary of them since. More suckers over there, see? It's a nice little spot. Oh, living the dream around here. Living the dream. I'm about 20 miles in now, I think. So yesterday I had swapped the brake pads around on this. So I'm a coming up to 300 and, I don't know, 300 and, or nearly 400 miles on this bike. And it's the second time I've had to change the pads out. It's because of the weight of the bike, it's not the bike's fault. And more on the subject of this bike, I don't want to recommend this bike to anyone. No ends of problems with this bike, including having to change the motor out, I had to change the mid-suspension out, and side rusher with no help whatsoever. And I was trying to help them with their marketing at the time. I'd read this, or you've heard this story before about my fallout with them. This isn't why I'm not recommending the bike. I'm not recommending the bike because it's not very good. Well, it is now. Field locks. Get into 5, get up this. These tyres in this Tannis Armour are holding out pretty good. As you know, I changed the tyres around to these V-tyre Speedsters, and they've been fine. They have very good road manners. You're going to hear me say that a lot during my reviews. But yeah, brilliant. So I'm hoping you'll get a good view of this. This was when Bradford was one of the industrial power points of the world. This is when Bradford was textile champion. Look at that. What a view. No, I'm going to have to get a drink, but I think they sell drinks here.
Yeah, no worries.
Is that a serving hatch? Is that the bit they set up? Yeah. Have you got any diet drinks or anything, or energy drinks?
I've got Lucasade Orange.
Got any Coke? Can I have a few cans of Coke, please?
Sorry, no, I ain't got Coke.
Pepsi?
I thought you said you got a Coke. No, I've run out of them too.
What you got? Lucasade. So we've changed lanes. We were over there. Now we've crossed the bridge coming over here. One of the locks. Never knew it changed lanes. Oh, I couldn't remember it. I've been up here a few times. Thank you. I have to admit, I couldn't have picked a better day for this. I've been watching the weather for a few days, so. Living the dream, mate. I don't know if you saw one of my previous videos about
me dreaming about getting one of these boats, and it's still in my head. I think the only thing fighting it is my age. But, you know, age is a relative thing, isn't it? How old do you feel? Well, some mornings about 95, but it is what it is. I think we're coming up to about 30 miles now. Afternoon. We should be at Saltaire at some point. This is what they should do with a lot of these buildings. Instead of letting them rot and tear down, they should turn them into housing, to apartments. What a place, what a spot to have an apartment. There's some in Wakefield, they're a shocking state, and they make great apartments. And they overlook the canal as well. Some have been converted, but others have just been neglected to rot. Waiting for somebody to come along and set them on fire so somebody can claim the insurance money. Anyway, I'm meant to be chilling out, not thinking about that shit. Straight round here. Don't get any better than this, does it? Well, it probably does, but I don't know if you've seen that advert on TV where somebody said, oh, this is the best fish I've caught in my life, and that guy turns up and he says, is it though? I've started saying that a lot. Is it though? Like I said, this arcs back to when Bradford was a massive powerhouse in the Industrial Revolution, and mainly through textiles. Bradford was a textile giant. Thank you. You just want to see me go in the water, don't you? Afternoon.
Right.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is what I've ridden out here for today. That is the world famous 5 rise locks. And you see some kids struggling to cycle up that bit at the moment. We used to come up here when we were younger, in our mid to late teens, and we used to do pull-ups. So you could do the most pull-ups before dropping off into the water off the front of the lock. Used to drive the lock master mental, but we were youths back then. And yeah, so I don't know how far I've done. I think it's probably about 30 miles. So it's about 30 miles back. Like I said, that's basically what we come out here for today. Construction wise, it's been there for a long time. I'll put the date it was built up there on the screen now. And even today, it's sort of amazing me. It's a shame there's no boats going up and down it. But it takes a while to get up and down there. And I think this was one of the ones that still has a lockmaster. But yeah, how cool is that?
I don't know how much you want peaceful wise for your peaceful, but for a Sunday afternoon, I can think of worse places to be. As I was saying earlier, I was talking to this enter spot because obviously with the locks behind me opening and closing all the time, you get a lot of drift mud coming down. But go down about 1.5 miles down this canal, the water's virtually see-through. I'll capture some video of it on the way back, but it's pretty much, you can see fish, life in it. When I was a kid, you jumped in here, you were down the hospital. Scrofula, bubonic plague. I am exaggerating, but you won't be well if you've got any of it in your mouth. But yeah, I can think of worse things to be doing on a Sunday. Just peaceful.
And so that time-lapse shot of the locks opening at 5 rise took me 1.5 hours, which it'll probably look good. Hopefully it looks good. That's 1.5 hours of my life I won't get back, but sat and had a couple of cans of pop, talked to some people, mainly about e-bikes. And yeah, it's just been lovely, hasn't it? Just pottering around. I mean, I could be in a different country here. Well, oddly, as much as you see all the shit about it on the news, this is Bradford. This is Bradford. And it's not that bad, is it?
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Da 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 da. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true.
So this is my thing about some of these readings on some of these displays when it comes to battery. And I've got to stop here anyway to let these pass, but that says 54% and I'm showing 4 out of 5 bars. So how does that work?
Yes, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, because you moved.
That it would have been a new hit.
No, I'll just wait for you to get past so I don't run you over. So here we go, we're coming back the other way now. You can just imagine a time when this was absolutely bustling and thriving. And let's be honest, it don't look shabby now either, does it? Yeah, not too shabby. There's far more cyclists out than I thought there'd be.
Got sleep.
There seems to be an hierarchy of different things. People walking have right away on these, but then you get grifters on gravel bikes or mountain bikes or powered and mountain bikes, you know, EMTBs. Surprisingly, which I thought I might have seen, I haven't seen one single e-moto. But I think e-motos are the reason that they built these anti-motorcycle grills that you can't get through. The reason why I had to go around the houses to get back on the canal. Otherwise I could have stayed on the canal path. But I'm going to come off again at Appley Bridge. I'm going to cycle down to Rodley and get back on the canal at Rodley. Actually, tell a lie, I'm going to get back onto the canal path at Kirkstall. It was Rodley where I had to come off. So we're going to do that. How clear that water is. When we used to come up here when I was younger, you couldn't see through the top of this, let alone see the clarity of water. Yeah, the Canal Trust, they deserve a nod. They're doing some fantastic work. I don't know what the elevation's been coming up here. Right, and it's quite high, and it's not going to be downhill all the way home either. But I'm going to be using hopefully less battery going home than I drew battery wise on the way here. And you imagine that because the river is flat, but we've been up all those lots, haven't we? Tell a lie, first e-moto today, Talaria. That was the definition of not an e-bike. I got some stickers off the Canal Trust, who are to thank for this clear water. You can actually see to the bottom. When I was younger, you weren't getting this water. And over there, that's a heron, apparently. You don't see many of them about. I think he's thinking of having a dip, but I don't think he's going to do it today. Bit of slow TV. Watching them swans trying to break into that. Have a drink. My empty cans. I've actually got some full one or two down in here. They're still cold. They obviously get fed from that narrowboat. No way they're all congregated around the window. What a fab time to be a swan. Living the swan dream. Centre of Leeds, made it 47 miles in, I think, so far. Look at that. Yeah. Got a bit of a sore bum there. That'll always be and always remain cool. So I'm nowhere near home yet. We're about another 15 miles to get back home. But we'll get there. Queen's Hotel. Had a hell of a party there one night, top floor. And just behind that tent there, you see a nightclub I used to go to called The News. Over there where Channel 4 is now, in that building. There, the round thing. There used to be a nightclub called The Majestic. And that used to be called the Conservatory. I used to drink in there as well. Yeah, Leeds has changed. Mostly for the better. It was a very poor place. But cool. It's always cool. It's the way I come in this morning into Leeds, and there's just building work going on everywhere. It's an investment from somewhere. Anslet Road. So if you have a look on Google Maps, that's where I am right now. Anslet Road, Leeds.